For most of Northern Europe, the season has changed and autumn is upon us. For many golfers, it's a case of searching for your ball under a pile of leaves and finding it in a clump of mud. But not here in southern Italy. No, it's all rather lovely here, isn't it? But don't take my word for it.
Yeah, that's a great venue to come to every year, and weather-wise it's nice and warm and it's good to play with a short sleeve on and not with a...
Well, it's pretty pleasant really. I think the other night at home it was 3 or 4 degrees, so we're very close to getting our first frost. To come to the south of Italy is an absolute treat.
This place is just stunning and the golf course is fantastic. To be able to play in shorts and short sleeves, it's always nice.
Hello and welcome to San Domenico Golf Club in Puglia, Italy for the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open. Fair to say, one of the more popular stops on the Legends Tour. There are still 5 events left on the calendar this season, so this is how the current order of merit shapes up. Australian Scott Henn leads the way and England's Peter Baker is sandwiched in the top 4 between the South African duo of Keith Horn and James Kingston. 7 different nationalities are represented in the top 10. Our most recent winner on tour was the evergreen Bernhard Langer, who won on home soil to claim the Winston Open in Germany. The 68-year-old won by a cool 6 shots, which included an opening round of 10 under 62. It was a performance that impressed his fellow countryman and winner here in Italy last year, Thomas Gugler.
Well, he's 68 years old. He beats his age, it seems, every time he plays golf. I think that's that says it all, huh? I think he really is one of the greatest sportsmen, not only golfers, sportsmen of all time. If you look at how many years he performs at the top level, I don't think you'll find anyone really who can compare to that. Of course, I won last year and I come back as defending champion, which is great, but also before I really liked the place and I liked the tournament, and it's just, great being in this area and really enjoying the southern part of Italy.
Thomas won by 3 shots here last year, but the man who has had more success on this track than anyone else is James Kingston. I caught up with him earlier in the week. Well, James, you must have spring in your step on these fairways because no one's been more successful here than you. A win here in 2021, then again 2 years later in 23. So what is it about this course that brings out the best in your game?
I actually don't know, Gabby, but it's obviously a place that I enjoy. I like the golf course. When I look at it, it just appeals to me. And yeah, you look at the hotel in the area that we're in, being looked after by everybody, we feel comfortable here. Yeah. And I like the golf course, I like a bit of breeze. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I certainly do like the place.
In about a month, you turn 60. Look, you've won as recent as May, so what would you say is the secret to longevity in this game? Because you're ageing backwards, clearly.
All my life I've tried to stay fit. I've tried to do something that kept me in shape. I'm doing a lot less of it now, but I'm about to start again. But I think just staying fit. Clint Eastwood, keep the old man out,
Almost 10 years on this tour, so what have you learnt from the point when you were a rookie and you came on at 50 years old to this point now?
That every year there are some younger, better players coming on tour, but I think on this tour it's a lot more relaxed. So guys try and beat each other out on the golf course, but when we walk off the golf course, there's a lot more camaraderie than on the main tour. People spend quality time with one another, and you sometimes go for dinner and you have that, I almost want to say that one-to-one, heart-to-heart chat with people, that you never used to do when we were playing.
Half lads holiday, half competition.
Exactly, so we're still all having fun.
And look, you're 4th in the order of merit, you're in contention week in, week out. So what gives you that fire in your belly to still be in contention week in, week out?
There's a competitiveness, you try and win. And if you lose that, I think you may as well pack up. I want to still win. I want to play as well as I possibly can, whether it's just in a pro-am or whether it's in a golf tournament. Bernhard Langer, what an example. Winning in Germany, 22 under par at his age, what an example he set. So I think guys, first and foremost, they want to come out and compete in a sport that they've played all their lives, but with people that they've gotten to know over a period of time.
So basically what you're saying is you're going for Langer's record?
I don't know, we'll probably never get there.
Oh, no.
What he's done is just unbelievable.
Never say never. Best of luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Coming up later in the show, Bradley Dredge offers a local junior a few pointers.
How are you thinking about playing it?
We're going to hit my 58 degree.
Okay.
Two recently turned 50-year-olds are making their Legends Tour debuts here at San Domenico this week, Johan Edfors and Jamie Donaldson. But first, time to catch some of the early action with your commentators, Michael McMullen and Warren Humphreys.
Thanks, Gabby, and let's start by looking back at how we got to where we are now over the first 2 days. Now, as Gabby said, James Kingston loves San Domenico. Indeed, he broke the course record by shooting 61 to clinch the second of his wins here 2 years ago. But although this set up the birdie, which completed his opening day 69, the follow-up of 74 dragged the South African back to 1 under.
And this was a stunning shot from the fairway bunker by debutant Edfors at the 18th on day 2. And despite missing the putt, he did compile 2 very consistent rounds of 69 to be at 6 under par.
A good start for Van Phillips with 69. Next day, he finished with a hat-trick of birdies, completed with this to be round in 67. He'll be in the last group out in the final round.
No wins for Andrew Marshall on the Legends Tour yet, but after 2 rounds of 67 and 69, he's at 8 under par and in second spot, very much in the frame.
But the early rounds were dominated by Philip Price, one of 10 Ryder Cup players in the field. He led on day 1 after a 64 and was 11 under with 6 to play in round 2 when he set up the chance of yet another birdie. That putt was missed, but a couple of holes later, this one wasn't. Price's 10th birdie of the week, to go with an eagle at the 10th hole on day 1, the Welshman was through 36 holes without dropping a shot. All taking him into the final round, 4 ahead of Marshall and Phillips. What a chance for Price to grab his 4th Legends Tour win.
Really pleased with today. I think difficult, as I think I've said, from shooting 8 under yesterday was a great day. So difficult to back that up. 4 under was really solid, I think. Just got to try and get ahead of everybody else. There's a lot of guys who can shoot really low tomorrow, so I'm still going to have to do some damage and try and get away from them all.
Nine years ago, Philip Price played his first senior Italian Open the week of his birthday and finished runner-up. Well, fast forward to this week, the Welshman's been celebrating his birthday once more. Will he clinch his first tour win in 3 years? It's another fine day here at San Domenico Golf Club, but there are some strong contenders ready to chase him down.
And on a course that has yielded over 400 birdies and 12 eagles over the first 2 days, he knows scoring will be low, so he cannot play safe. But that's a good drive to start with for Price.
Starting the day 8 back, Scott Drummond would need something astonishing to be in contention, and he started in that fashion with birdies at the 1st and 2nd, here at the 3rd, and then the 4th as well.
Sweden's Michael Lundberg has not won this season, but he has had 5 top 5 finishes, which would suggest a win is not far away, and he starts well with the birdie at the 1st after that excellent shot.
Now this is the sort of thing which gets you feeling good right from the off. Edfors, holing a big one for birdie on the opening green, and he went on to birdie the 2nd as well.
And they're all gunning for the leader as fellow Welshman Bradley Dredge plays this stunning shot at the par 5 second to eagle the hole and move to 7 under par. They're not going to make it easy for Price.
Scott End has the winning habit this year, and he wouldn't have given up hope of another one here just yet. Eagle at the 2nd also for the Order of Merit leader. He's already back to only 4 off the lead. As we go out to Marshall on the opening hole, Warren.
And a pretty tricky second shot too, water on the right. Looks like he was trying to hold that one in and cut it into that flag. That's a brave shot. Obviously a man in control of his game.
67 and 69 for him so far. Now, tell us about the 5th.
Well, it's a short par 4, just 383 yards, and again they've tucked the flag away on that left side. Not going to make it easy for players to approach some of these holes, make them sweat a little.
Hend has followed that eagle on the second with a couple of pars.
Just a little flick with him from a wedge. He's so powerful, the Australian.
Now back to the first, and Price already in danger of dropping a shot, which he hasn't done yet all week.
Yeah, picked up a bad lie on the first, got a bit of a flyer, so requires a pretty good shot there, and he's played that with a lot of safety in mind. So a tough putt coming up to save his par, not what he wanted.
Peter Baker's got history here at San Domenico. Runner-up 2 years ago, a shot behind James Kingston.
He got off to a good start. Baker birdied the second, so has that to save his par at the third.
Back to the opener and Van Phillips, a winner on the Legends Tour last year. His best this year has been a share of second in Switzerland back in July.
Yeah, but he also won the DP World Portuguese Open back in 1999, Michael.
Only great players win that title, Warren.
I think so.
40 years ago since you took it.
Don't remind me of the length of time that's gone past, Michael. That's not kind.
Now Scott Hend might be only 2 behind in a moment. Yeah, he gets to 9 under. Price in danger of going back to 11.
Nothing like aligning power with touch as well, is it? Looks very calm out there, Hend. Likes a good low last round.
Peter Baker here looking to build on his 4th place finish in Germany last time out. And he was never likely to miss from there for par. Back to the final group then, and Andrew Marshall.
A bit of a Texas wedge putter from off the green. Outside chance here for the Englishman. 2 top 10s in his last 5 events, obviously coming into a little bit of form.
Marcus Breer looking to make it back-to-back birdies here.
Won a few events ago on the Legends Tour, the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends event. Always nice to be in the winner's circle.
Yeah, he's only 4 off the lead now, and that'll go down to 3 if Price doesn't save his par.
Well, this is a big, big putt to settle the nerves for Price. Good roll, didn't turn, maybe a little bit of misreading there, but definitely not what he wanted. He's given the field some hope.
So Marshall, this to stay at 8 under.
It's testy. Good 3 feet. Well done. Nicely popped in.
So how quickly things can change. 4 ahead overnight. Price has only played 1 hole and his lead has already been cut in half, with Hend now second. After 5 early birdies, Scott Drummond has dropped a shot at the 8th, but he's only 3 behind, one of many still right in contention at San Domenico.
Welcome back to the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open, where a couple of proven DP World Tour winners are making their Legends Tour debuts.
Well, it's very nice to be young again towards the latter ends of playing on tour. I've still got a few to play next year, but there's a lot of young guys coming out that hit the ball a long way, so hopefully I'll be one of those out here. It's excitement because you're kind of going to be back in the mix again. I haven't played for 3 months, or not played a lot after a little bit of surgery, but I'm back relatively fit, ready to go. So it'll be very exciting to get going in what is kind of a new era, really.
First time in quite a few years that I've been looking forward to a birthday. So no, I'm trying to prepare and really keen on starting to play again. This year I've practiced a little bit and played a few events on the Nordic League just to try to prepare for this. Before that I'm involved in a golf club in Gothenburg, and before that I did a lot of paddle tennis actually, so there was a big boom in Sweden with that, so I've been quite busy, to be honest. I recognize much more names here than I do on the regular tour nowadays, so no, it's been really fun to see some familiar faces here. It's the last time to be young and promising, so I haven't been that on the Nordic League, that's for sure.
Well, after finishing 7 under, Donaldson is set for a top 20 placing, but Ed Fors still has the chance of so much more than that. And here at the long 6th, an eagle putt from the back of the green was left in cert and birdie territory. A third already today for the Swede.
After starting with 5 straight pars, Andrew Marshall over the first 41 holes has now had just 1 bogey to go with 31 pars and 9 birdies. Impressive control. There have been no top 10s so far this season for Englishman Craig Farrelly, but this beautiful shot at the 5th earned him his 2nd birdie of the day, and he followed that with another birdie at 6 to go 9 under par.
Michael Lundberg keeps hammering away in search of that first career Legends Tour win, and it could still come today. Even more possible after a birdie for the colourful Swede from short range at the 5th.
Scott Hend had already eagled the 2nd and had this putt for another eagle at the 6th. Oh, so painful. But he did birdie the 5th as well, so it's a real hot start from the Aussie. He's now 10 under par.
After his opening dropped shot, Philip Price repaired the damage with birdie at the par 5 2nd. But at the short 3rd, it was the hole itself in need of repair. 3 putts from the back of the green meant another bogey for Price as his eventful start continued with a 4. But how close did he come to a hole-in-one? Wow, that close. A couple of pars have followed for Price, who at 11 under is now a stroke clear of Hend and Lundberg. Scott Drummond picked up yet another shot on 10 and is now 3 behind Price with 6 to play. And here is the leader.
I think I might have been raging had I missed out on that hole-in-one that he nearly made on the 3rd, but Price seems to have recovered his equilibrium. Nice swing there to the par 5. And almost making it on the green. Pretty good shot. This game really tests the mental side.
Lionel Alexandra, who was tied 3rd in Northern Ireland in August when he had that rare feat of back-to-back eagles mid-round.
He's already birdied the 2nd and the 6th, the Frenchman, so he's also had a pretty good start to his round. So we go back to Marshall at the 6th.
Yeah, all pars so far for him. You sort of feel he's got to make something start happening at the par 5 hole here.
Yeah, maybe looking for a flyer coming out of that semi-rough. He just tweaked it into that left bunker. Up and down, should still make his birdie.
And forward to another par 5. Really feels like one of those holes you need to get something out of to keep up with the rest.
But what about Hend's drive? I mean, that's just massive. He's just got a little flick in there. No wonder he plays the par 5 so well. He's had 10 eagles so far this season, more than anyone else. In fact, 4 more than anyone else. And he's had an eagle already today.
Well, we could see Marshall wasn't happy with his swing on his way to the 6th, but he can still get his birdie by getting up and down from the greenside bunker. And that's not bad, Warren.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward lie. At least he's got an uphill putt.
Marcus Breer finished the front 9 with his first drop shot of the day to be out in 35, which is 2 under here.
Nicely played, good feel, good sense of pace of the greens. It should be just a little tap in for him.
Alexandra already a couple under par for his final round. Oh, and this could be a couple more. It is! All of a sudden, the Frenchman is 10 under par.
Yeah, that was a cute shot. It looked like he was trying to cut it up, but he drove it in low and he got the spin he needed. Now Hend Can he make an eagle at 10? My goodness me, he could have had 3 eagles already today. That really would have catapulted him up the leaderboard.
Well, when you've got his power off the tee, you're going to have plenty of those opportunities. But the birdie gets him into a tie for the lead now at 11 under.
Yeah, you put power and technique together, coupled with timing, you've got a sure winner. Price, little chip and run shot here at the 6th, going up the slope. That's nicely done. As always, had a pretty good short game. Very determined character.
We've seen a number of players over the years win in their first event on a tour. Ed Fours with the chance to do that today on his Legends Tour debut. Birdie put at 8, looking to get into double figures, and it always looked like it was coming up short.
The debutants now coming in, they seem to be leaner, fitter, fresher, hungrier. Some of the boys on tour are going to have to work hard to keep the likes of Ed Fours away from winning.
Breer has won this year on the Legends Tour in Ballymena in August, almost 4 years after his first win. A good opportunity missed, but at least the catch was good.
Not sure he's going to quite see it that way, but I know where you're coming from. Birdies on par 5s, really vital to make on a course like this. He'd be disappointed.
So Marshall has this to get within 2 of the lead, which he has done, albeit maybe not for very long, as Price steps up with his attempt to get to 12 under.
Always important to try and keep your nose in front, and you start the day leading. Tested little one though down the slope, well done.
Well, Price needed that to be in the lead a third of the way through his round. Hend is just 1 back, and yet another birdie on 13 has Scott Drummond 6 under for the day. He's one of 7 players within 3 of the leader Price at the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open.
Welcome back to highlights of the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open. As part of our Future Legends series, last year's runner-up Bradley Dredge headed onto the course with a local junior golfer. Here's how they got on.
Hey Antonio, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bradley.
Let's have a game. I understand you're a member here, so hopefully then you can show me the way up the first hole.
Obviously.
Very good. The miss is okay left on this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Better than right. I'm not as good as you, so I'm going to hit 3 iron up here.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, let's go.
Very good.
Also, you're a member here and playing off scratch. Any ambitions to become a professional?
Yes, I would like to become a professionalist, and I would like to listen to your secret.
Unfortunately, like in anything, there's no secret. There's so many different aspects to it. Good technique, good short game. I think that's like a given. You have to have those things. Yeah. And then there's always the mental aspect and then the physical aspect. So the reason why I hit iron off the tee, obviously water over there, rough on the left rough is safe, but I want to be in the fairway because it's only a short hole. So I've got 110 yards to the pin. I think with the spinny greens, I'm going to chip one in there with the 50 degree and not hit the full one. Yep, like that. So it stops, and that's it. So I don't have to worry about the backspin then. So what are you thinking now? Obviously, you're only literally 2 inches off the fairway, just into a little bit of semi-rough. How are you thinking about playing it?
We're gonna hit my 58 degree.
Okay. Okay, it's a little shy.
The green, yeah.
Just on the front edge, I think. Yeah, it's okay. The big thing in golf, same in any sport, it really is one shot at a time. When you get up to the ball, it's very much about relying on your routine, same process, and then just focusing in on what you can do. Yeah. You can only control the controllables. Yeah, nice. Ooh, nice putt.
Good birdie, brother.
Yeah, well done. Nice part. Antonio, absolute pleasure to meet you today. Good luck with the golf.
Good luck for tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Yeah, cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, Bradley Dredge, the winner at Hanbury Manor a little over 2 years ago. And a couple of eagles on his card raised the outside prospect he might win today. In all likelihood, though, he needed to birdie 17, so he was left frustrated at leaving his putt for a 2 a couple of feet short and walking off with a par. Now, Peter Baker so often gets himself into contention, and he's doing it again. Lovely approach at the 9th, where a birdie took him to 3 under for the day, and he would then make another at the next hole.
Johan Edfors slightly miffed at his bogey on the 9th, got the shot back here at the 10th following this approach shot, which obviously gave him some momentum as he made further birdies on 12 and 14 to go 11 under par and just 2 back.
After his hole-out eagle at the 8th, Lionel Alexandra bagged a birdie a couple of holes later. 4 pars followed before he came so close to making up a little more ground on 15. He needs to finish in the top 20 of the Order of Merit to retain his playing privileges for next year. He's currently 24th, so every stroke counts for so much.
Scott Hendid birdied the 10th, but he had to make that putt for a par on 14th. So he dropped a shot there, but he did bounce back with a birdie on the 16th to get back to 11 under and stayed 2 shots back.
After an eventful start to the day, leader Philip Price had settled down and was on the par trail. His 3rd in a row was safely secured with 2 putts from here at the 9th, getting him out in level par 37.
As for Andrew Marshall, the putts were starting to drop as he birdied the 7th, and here at the 9th he made another, just.
Marshall then birdied the 10th as well, but Price did the same to stay 1 ahead. Hend has birdied 16, even 1 more over the 2 remaining holes. Might just give him a chance.
The 11th is a beautiful par 3, just 158 yards, surrounded by bunkers. Pin today hard over on the right-hand side, protected by the mound and bunker right. So you have to be left of this pin, or else you could be making bogey.
No surprise to see Marshall doing well here. He was tied 9th on this course 2 years ago and tied 3rd last year after a closing 65.
Just slightly dragged it a little bit more than he wanted in that right to left wind, but it's perfectly safe.
So Price has had his ups and downs in this final round, but he is now under par for the day.
Quite hard to cut a short iron in. And with the breeze from the right, very difficult, but he's managed to pull it off, Price, so that's an excellent shot.
Now, Stephen Gallagher at the last. He was tied 3rd on his last outing at Rail Nuevo last month. His best finish so far in this his rookie year on the Legends Tour. He's 4 under for the day. And may yet be so at the finish. That would get him in on 9 under. Meanwhile, Andrew Marshall at the 11th has a chance, an outside one for his 3rd birdie in a row.
Now, leaving the flag in, flag's leaving towards him. I hope there's enough room in there if he gets the right pace, which he hasn't, so much meat left on that bone.
Back to Gallagher then. No drop shots on the card today. This to keep it that way, which he does. And that is the best round of the week for the former Ryder Cup player.
Thank you, sir.
Another player who's been part of a winning Ryder Cup team is Philip Price. He has this to get to 14 under.
So good. If he'd have holed that, it would have given him a little bit of an extra cushion. So pressure still very much on his shoulders at the moment. He knows that's a big opportunity missed.
Yeah, so he stays at 13 under, which means this will keep Marshall only one off the lead. Feels like a big moment, this.
Never easy to hold putts like that on the last round of a tournament. Good nervy one hold there for Marshall.
Well, if End could make this, and particularly if he was to add another at the last, it might give him a shot at this. Well, it was a decent effort, but it never really looked like going in.
Yeah, that's 17th, one of the hardest holes on the course all week as we go back to 16. Ed For's third shot.
You can see there are 3 DP World Tour wins, all in the same season, 20 years ago next year. Scottish Open at Loch Lomond, perhaps the most notable of those. Let's move forward a hole. Hen still has this for his par. He still can't be ruled out if this goes in. But probably needs to find that birdie on 18.
Two cracking shots from Frenchman Alexandre. Driver off the deck for his second, and he's still got fair distance to go to have a pitch and a putt for his birdie.
Been a good year for him after coming through Q School yet again for the 3rd year in a row. Made a really good start with a 4th and a 3rd in his first 2 events, and has kept it going reasonably well. Now Andrew Marshall at the 12th is really hitting form now. Slow enough to really get going today, but now he's got that very short putt for his 5th birdie in the last 7 holes.
Ed For's then for his birdie on 16. Well done. It'll also give a good read to Alexandre. I bet he was watching. But Ed For's gets to 12.
Only one off the lead now. The winning debut is on. Philip Price, 3 times a Legends Tour winner, but it's been well over 3 years now since the last.
And you know then he'll be nervous. The heart rate will be up over the closing holes. That's always a good thing though. Helps to keep you mentally sharp. Pretty good pitch there. Controlled the length well. Now can the Frenchman go to school on the putt of Ed For's? Pretty much the same line. Little bit of left to right. Ooh. Snuck it in. It tried to sneak out on that side, but it drops, thankfully for him.
So many players bunching up now, all currently trying to chase down this man.
See, holding the putter very gently there, maybe too gently for Price. Had the right line, just forgot to hit it. So that's 2 opportunities gone over the last few holes for the Welshman.
All of which sets up Marshall to get into a share of the lead.
Not much movement in this, pretty straight and firm.
So Price has finally been caught then, having started the day with a 4-shot lead. Now 2 of them tied at the top. Alexandre and Ed Ford are both 1 back, but both have only 2 holes left in which to strengthen their chances. Italy so well known for fine food and having a great time, all of which was on offer for players and guests on a special night at the nearby Borgo Ignazia Hotel. It's the final round of the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open at San Domenico, a well-established and very popular stop on the Legends Tour. Scott Henn's bid for a 3rd win of 2025 is probably going to come up short, but as he tapped in for par to complete a 67, the Australian moved a little closer to being this year's number 1.
As for Peter Baker, he birdied the par 5 10th, and here at the par 5 16th, he would get to 11 under after that approach. And him, his 5th birdie of the round. Still very much in the hunt.
4 ahead when he woke up this morning, but no longer out on his own. Philip Price never really looked like sinking this epic birdie attempt at the 13th. but par was secured.
And the nerves seem to be holding steady for the Frenchman Alexandre as he stays at 12 under thanks to this good approach putt from distance at the 17th. It earned him a par.
4 under for his back nine. Legends Tour newcomer Johan Edfors was making a late charge for the line and could have gone tied for the lead had he birdied the 17th. It was never really close, but even with a bit left to do, he got his par from there.
Despite this well-controlled tee shot at the par 3 13th, Marshall didn't birdie the hole, but he did pick up his 5th 3 in his last 7 holes.
Now Price has dropped a shot at 14, so for the first time today he's now got to come from behind. 4 players covered by a single shot, and let's not write off Peter Baker at 11 under.
Tough hole, the 18th, 450 yards to close out the round. One of the hardest holes on the course coming at the end of the round, so it's a big test. Good drive from Edfors.
Yeah, it's a tough hole to birdie. In all likelihood he needs one, but he hasn't birdied it yet this week.
Another very powerful player. That was almost just a half swing trying to punch one in low, but he's dragged it, so he'll do well to make a 4.
As I've said, Baker is not entirely out of this as he boards the 17th tee, and it's got good memories for him because this is what happened on 17 for him 2 years ago.
Just beautiful that. He'd love to repeat it. Gosh, he was happy then. He'd be happy if he could do it again.
Well, if he did, it would put him in a share of the lead all of a sudden.
I think it was even windier when he played last time. There is a fresh breeze out there today, but nothing too testy. But how about that? You never lose it.
So back to Edfors on the home green. And if he could somehow make this, he could go tied for the lead. It would be a massive finish, and 13 under would be a strong target.
Be some putt if he makes this one up and over the humps and hollows. Not too bad for line, a little shy for strength.
Andrew Marshall, never won on the DP World Tour. Second a couple of times. He's also been second on this tour in India last year. What a huge day it will be for him if he could get this done.
I have to say he looks very calm the way he's gone about his business, and he's controlled so many shots well just like that.
So no repeat hole-in-one for Baker, but he can make a birdie which will get him to 6 under for the day. Keep him in with a real chance.
Yeah, the difference between winning and losing is always on the dance floor. You've got to be able to hold putts. Don't hold those, you're not going to win.
Took a long time for Price to get going this year. No top 20s in his first 7 events of the season, but 4 out of 5 since then. And he's obviously going to have another one today, but anything less than a win I think will be a disappointment given the way he was standing at the start of the day, and that shot will help.
Trouble is, no lead is ever big enough. So much can happen. Birdies to bogeys can change around so quickly. So we go to the 18th.
Yeah, Edfors wasn't able to finish at 13 under. Alexandre can do that here, but never really threatened.
Nice to be out in shorts, watching the golf.
So Alexandre, one of those players who's saved his best round for the last day. And as he closes at 12 under, there's still a chance he could at least have more golf to play today.
Cracking round of 66. Move up the leaderboard pretty quickly if you do that. Back to 15. Another one of these putts. Makeable for Price for birdie. Spurns the opportunity. He's certainly had chances in the back nine to make a little bit of a cushion for himself over the closing holes. He's not taken them.
So Alexandra already in at 12 under. Ed Fours with his short put to match him. And keep the dream alive after a closing 66.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's quite a week, isn't it? 69, 69, 66 on your debut performance. He'd be very happy with that, I'm sure.
So Marshall can go a couple clear here. And that's what he has done. So he is finishing very strongly here and only has 3 holes left to cover.
Only 3 holes.
Indeed. But it does look like being his to win or lose now. No need for anything too adventurous. A couple of pars and it should be his. One of which was safely tucked away from this position at the short 17th.
And for Price, after a bogey on the par 5 16th, things are not much better for him. Here at 17, off that awkward line, the bunker, he'd drop another shot to go back to 10 under. Just not his day.
Peter Baker still in with a chance to grab a share of second place, but only if this birdie attempt would get below ground at the last. He wasn't far away. Par for a 67 will mean his 6th top 5 finish of the season. It's all about Marshall now, though. Anything better than a double bogey at the final hole, he'll be the champion.
Sounds easy, but it never is. Just got to remain calm here. Nice smooth swing required, and that certainly was smooth. That's beautifully done. Maybe just crept in this side the semi-rough, but that's okay.
Up at the green, Craig Farrelly came through Q School in January. Best so far, a share of 15th in Barbados back in the springtime. And even though he missed that one, he is going to do so much better today. It will be a second consecutive 70 to follow up in his opening 67. Craig Farrelly finishes 9 under. Well, what a letdown for Philip Price. 3 bogeys now in the last 4 holes for a man who didn't have any bogeys in the first 2 rounds.
He seemed to have caught that nicely coming out of the semi-rough though, and he's got it onto the green, some way from the flag, but at least it's on the dance floor.
Andrew Marshall, not been better than a share of 6th this year. He's going to better that clearly, but right now he's got so much more in mind.
He just wants this to get on the green so he can enjoy the walk up there, and he has. That's a good shot in the circumstances. He will be thrilled when he sees that just creep onto the edge of the green.
And from there he will have 3 putts for the title. And they are the sort of circumstances in which you can really enjoy a walk like this. It's a walk that Philip Price has taken in big disappointment. We'll see him in a moment, but great to see so many players coming out to greet a very popular win on the Legends Tour.
Yes, got a brief glimpse there of Mark Farry, Jonathan Lomas, Christian Savard. Popular man is Andrew Marshall, as we see Price with this very long putt.
Wow.
And he's charged that some way past.
On the walk very early. It would only have been little more than a tiny consolation really at the end after the way the day's gone for him.
Hegman there and Sherland watching on as Marshall. Love to finish with a flourish, pop this one in. But he's just going to cosy down there. If you've got a few for it, you might as well take them, especially when it's for your first win.
Well, Van Phillips is very much the forgotten man of this group. He's got totally left behind. He started the day in a share of 2nd place. It was almost inevitable, really. He was going to miss that one as well. So it's a closing 76, and it sees him tumble all the way down to a share of 30th in the end.
Come on, Philip, try and make this last gasp. Missed so many over the back 9. Well done.
Yeah, he was still leading on his own with 7 holes to go, but a horrible closing stretch. He will finish in 6th place. Twice a winner on the MENA Tour, twice on the Euro Pro. He was twice a runner-up on the DP World Tour, but never won there. Now though, for the first time, Andrew Marshall is a champion on the Legends Tour. He trailed by 4 shots at the start of this final day, but had caught up with Philip Price by the time they came off the 13th green. A couple of holes later, he was out on his own, and there he stayed, all the way to the finish line, to the champagne, to the celebrations, as winner of the Sergio Melpignano Italian Open. Marshall wins by 2 from Lionel Alexandra, who's a runner-up out here for the first time. So is Johan Edfors in his first event. 67s from Hendon Baker see them share 4th. In the year which marks his 30th anniversary as a professional, and just over 2 years on from his Legends Tour debut, Andrew Marshall gets his hands on the trophy.
I played lovely on all the way around. Yesterday was good. Today I was a bit more aggressive with the wedges and hold some putts. I've been knocking on the door a few times last year, and yeah, to finally break through here, yeah, so I'm very happy.
Henn's share of 4th increases his lead in the order of merit very slightly, with Baker leapfrogging Keith Horn into 2nd place. Marshall's win leaves him just 1 spot outside the top 10, with 4 events to go.
What a week here we've had for the Sergio Melpignano Senior Italian Open. And in the end, it was Andrew Marshall who came from behind to clinch his maiden Legends Tour win. Well, that's Italy done and dusted. Next up, we're off to Spain for the Champions UK PLC European Senior Masters. We'll see you then.